Alright guys, the Casual Movie Guy is back here, and today I am talking about Pitch Perfect 2. So Pitch Perfect 2 is the sequel to Pitch Perfect 1, and I really enjoyed the first Pitch Perfect. I thought it was a good film overall. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was one of the biggest surprises of the year. I think that all the acting in it was pretty solid. Anna Kendrick is one of my favorite actresses. I really think she's talented and deserves more work. Rebel Wilson, I think, is hilarious. She doesn't really just stay to that typical fat girl role, the funny fat girl, if you know what I'm talking about. I mean, she plays that role, and she does it perfectly, but there's just something to her, something that you really like about her. And that continues into this movie. Anna Kendrick and both Rebel Wilson do a fantastic job in this movie, same as they did in the first one, and I was really interested this time in Anna Kendrick's character. And not that I wasn't in the first one, I really was, but in this one, it was a very good story arc, I feel, for a movie about a bunch of girls in college, that she is looking forward to what goes on after college. I mean, she knows that she had a good time in college, and she's looking forward to what's going on after college, because she gets an internship at this music producing place, and she starts making her name known there, and that was really cool to see. And some of the other girls, Chloe, the one from the first one, you find out that in this one she's been in college for 7 years, and that she's really set on not leaving because she's scared of what happens after college, and I thought that was some really good story arcs for the characters. But overall, I just don't think it held up to the standards of the first film. It didn't have the same charm as the first one, and some of the jokes in this film, they just didn't land as well as the first film. They were funny, but there were some very unfunny jokes, ones that really fell flat. A lot of them came with the Asian girl and the Hispanic girl, which I know that sounds really racist, but the movie itself is kind of racist. The Hispanic girl, she makes a bunch of these jokes about her own race, and the Asian girl is really awkward and annoying, and she's always doing something weird in her scenes, which she does in the first one, but in the first one she wasn't always doing something weird. She was kind of just the quiet one who occasionally did something weird. In this film, every single thing she does is weird, and it just got really annoying. And some of the jokes made by the Hispanic girl were funny, but a lot of them just fell flat and felt very forced into the film, and that was a huge problem. One of the bright shining stars of this movie, in my eyes, is the guy who plays Bumper. He's also on Workaholics, I think it is. I don't know the guy's name, but I think he did a really good job in this movie. He's funny. He's kind of that douchebaggy guy that you can't help liking, even though you know he's a kind of an asshole. But overall, I really enjoyed this movie. Just not to the level of the first one. I really enjoyed the first one. This one is a good film. It just doesn't have that same charm and funniness that the first one did. One of my biggest problems with this movie is the Germans. And they're really annoying, and they're not annoying in a likable way like the character of Bumper. These guys are just annoying. The girl is just irritating and aggravating, and she's just a dick, and not in a good way. The group itself, the Das Sound Machine is their name, the German singing group, they're awesome though. Like, they're not the characters, but the music. I personally think at the end, it's sad to say, but I think at the competition at the end, they had the better performance than the Bellas, which Anna Kendrick and Rebel Wilson are part of, if you didn't know. But I think that the German group, they did a fantastic job with their song, and that was another problem. You shouldn't really think that one group that isn't the main character group, you shouldn't think that they did better than the group that you're supposed to be rooting for. But other than that, the characters were really annoying. I thought they were going to be kind of funny annoying, like in the trailer, but they just got under my skin, and I just didn't like them at all. Seeing the Green Bay Packers was really freaking hilarious. Clay Matthews and the rest of the guys were just really funny. That whole scene where they're singing off, kind of like in the first film, but this one they do it a lot better. I just think that whole scene is hilarious. It was one of my favorite scenes of the movie. Other than that, there isn't really much to say. I don't blame the movie on Elizabeth Banks, who is the blonde girl who, her and the other guy, they're the announcers for America. They were in the first movies. She directed this movie. She's also Effie Trinket in the Hunger Games movies. But either way, I don't blame her for this movie completely. It may have been a writing problem, not enough good stuff to write for a sequel. That may have been a problem, but I just don't think she did as good of a directing job as the first film. I'm not sure who directed the first one, but it just didn't feel the same. It didn't have the same charm. The plot felt pretty jumbled. I don't think they really knew where they wanted to go with the story, and you can definitely see that on the screen. But other than that, I did have a good time. The music was great. Anna Kendrick was awesome as always. Rebel Wilson was funny. So I do recommend that you guys go see it. It's not a must-see. You don't have to rush out right away and go see the movie as soon as possible. If you miss it, you're not going to die or anything. But I definitely think that you guys should check it out. If you love the first one, then I definitely suggest, that you go see this movie, because you'll probably love this one as well. If you kind of just like the first one, this one you may not have as good of a time with. But overall, I'm going to give this movie a 7 out of 11. I think that it did what it wanted to do, but not as well as it could have been. Some of the jokes were funny, some weren't, and that's really all I have to say. I'm the Casual Movie Guy. If you want to hear more from me, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I hope to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. You guys should really help me get to that goal. That would be awesome. Like this video, make sure to like some of my other ones, and I'm out.